My dear brothers and sisters, welcome back for the session. And I'm sure you had a light break. Now, looking into the mainstream, my dear, looking into the mainstream, we will start. So, as the coordinators insisted, I switched on the video as well, my dear. Nevertheless, we will make sure if there is any video getting buffered, please let me know. We will immediately stop the video, right? So, based on the request only, it's been switched on. And from your end, you need not switch on the videos because it will take a lot of internet connectivity and buff immediately bandwidth will have an issue. So let's continue with this particular chapter called payment. I'm going to focus more on the amendments happened in the payment chapter, followed by very interesting and important learning, order of adjusting input tax credit. My dear brothers and sisters, this is a very, very, very important learning because there is a question getting asked every time. And also interest competition. You might be spending, quite some time, but it's very, very important. Now listen, my dear. When it comes to electronic cash ledger, now UPI method has been introduced. This is the latest amendment. Earlier UPI method of payment is not there. And today UPI method has not been implemented. So that is one biggest addition we have into the system, right? So having that covered. Electronic cash ledger balance. Sir, can it be used for the payment of any liability? Yes. But the latest amendment is it can be transferred to the distinct person also. It's a very popular question. Can the balance in the electronic cash ledger be transferred? Yes. Excess balance can be transferred from any major head to any minor head or from any minor head to any major head. There is no restrictions. There is no restrictions. Cash ledger. I'm talking about cash ledger, cash ledger, cash ledger. The balance in the cash ledger from one head can be transferred to various heads. There is no restriction at all. Everybody, my dear, that's with respect to electronic cash ledger. And now, this is the latest one. It can be transferred to a distinct person as well. Sir, what do you mean by distinct person? Now, let's have an example of this way, my dear. This example will help you to have a clarity. What is that, sir? My dear, let me take Mr. A is there. Mr. A is having the HO. Let's assume in Tamil Nadu, Chennai. Mr. A is also having a branch in Bangalore, Karnataka. Mr. A will be having only one PAN, right? Based on this PAN, he would have taken this GSTN and this GSTN. And let's assume he's having GST IN1 and he's having GST IN2. My dear, tell me what will be the common between these two GSTN? Tell me what will be the common between GSTN1 and GSTN2? The common aspect will be PAN, right? Any person having the same PAN, any person having the same PAN, and they are having, any person having the same PAN and having two different registrations. The nature of relationship between these two GST INs, it will be called as distinct person. So the latest amendment is Mr. A having a GST IN 1 with a Chennai, with Tamil Nadu, has some cash balance excess, he can transfer it to GSTN2, which is belonging to Bangalore, provided no liability here at Chennai. See, Tamil, there is a beautiful saying. I don't know how many of you will follow me in Tamil, but Tanakku minchidan danamum dharmamum. There is a beautiful saying in Tamil. Meaning thereby, you can actually transfer. Okay. Only after your requirements are fulfilled. Makes a lot of sense, right? Without getting the, your requirement fulfilled. If you give it to others, probably nobody will do, especially in the given scenario. So we need to accept and we need to go further, right? So we get to understand this is how it happens. Everybody, my dear, comfortable? So that is with respect to distinct person. A very, very, very important amendment. And once you read this, you will understand. Excess can be transferred. Excess balance can be transferred from one head to major head. Or you can also understand registered person can transfer the balance in the electronic cash ledger. Come here, immediately continue over here. To a distinct person as specified in subsection 4 or subsection 5. I'm not convinced with subsection 5 inclusion here because subsection 5 is a establishment of a distinct person. And I don't think establishment of a distinct person will warrant transfer because they are not registered under the GST law. It's a draftsman error, copy paste error. It will be rectified in the future. Probably you will remember me then probably another 2-3 years down the line. They will understand this and they will come back. If the said registered person has no unpaid liability in his electronic liability register. So if I don't have a liability, I can transfer it to my own branch, provided I don't have a liability here. Guys, are you able to understand this provision? Latest amendment. Shall we proceed, my dear? Can you do this mapping? Excess cash balance can be transferred subject to a star. What does the star mean? No liability in electronic liability register. If there is no liability there, they can transfer the excess cash balance to another person. Guys, are you all comfortable? Everybody? Right. If you're all comfortable, take 1 minute, quickly note down these provisions and get to have a clarity. There is every probability this can be a 2-mark or a 3-mark question. Ready? Blur my background. I'm just trying, my dear. I didn't. As long as you guys. Oh, sorry. As long as you guys are, trying to write on the other side. I'm just trying to do the video sitting on the background. Blur background seems to be a lot better and compared to anything else. My dear brothers and sisters, have you all done with? Can I step into the very, very, very important next learning? We have got 3 learnings. First one is cash ledger, we have done. Second one is electronic credit ledger. We are going to discuss about the manner of adjusting the restrictions thereon. And then I'm going to take up something called overall problem for you guys, which has been the need of the hour. Every now and then that's getting tested for you. In the past, that's getting tested for 6 marks or 8 marks, but you should get yourself familiarized with that. Shall we, my dear, everybody? My dear, subject to your confirmation only, I can move. Right. What I will do is I'll take up immediately the next provision. My dear, this is a potential question. And remember, next one we are getting to electronic credit ledger. My dear brothers and sisters, electronic credit ledger. On the credit side, you will have only by way of availment of 3B, remember. So apart from 3B, there is no direct availment, only 3B, automatic availment only through 3B. And sir, I can use the credit for what? You can use the credit only for two aspects. One, for the adjustment. One, for the adjustment. So probably I'll tell you, guys, I have some issues in the video. What I will do is I'll stop the video for some time. We'll continue the lecture. While solving the problem, I'll switch on the video again, right? Now here we go, my dear. Yeah. So now look at this. There is only two permissible, adjustments are there. One is adjustment against output tax liability. Another one is refund. Only two permissible utilization. Sir, can't I use it for anything else? No. ITC cannot be used for RCM payment. ITC cannot be used for interest payment. ITC cannot be used for penalty payment. ITC cannot be used for late fees payment. All these things have to be paid only using cash. ITC is permissible to be utilized for what, sir? Can be used only for paying output tax liability on outward supply, not against all liabilities, my dear. You can use it only for output tax liability against the outward supply. Everyone, my dear. Are with me all, my dear? Comfortable? Yeah, right. So that too, in which order I should adjust, sir? First, you should go for IGST. IGST has to be adjusted first for IGST liability. Next, it can be adjusted for CGST, SGST, or UTGST in any order. Sir, when you follow any order, what should be the objective, sir? The objective should be minimum cash payment. Remember this. This is a very, very, very important one. Remember this. Because lot of past questions, it will be divided equally. Right? You can divide equally. You can give exhausted only against the CGST. You can exhaust that only against SGST, whatever you want to do. But while you're doing, please ensure the whole objective is to pay minimum cash outflow, and that has been kept in back of mind. After exhausting IGST only, you can take CGST, and first you have to exhaust against CGST liability. Second, excess, if any, you can exhaust against IGST. Over and above, you can carry forward. Similarly, this will also take place. Everybody, my dear. So first and full utilization must be done for IGST. IGST account must be made 0. Only after that you can think about CGST and SGST being utilized. Everybody, my dear. And this will be tested for you in an overall problem. Sir, what do you mean by overall problem? One problem wherein you will be tested for supply, you will be tested for RCM, you will be tested for exemption, you will be tested for order of adjustment, you will be tested for blocked credit and availment on ITC, you will be tested for payment due dates of filing the returns. Everything will be at one place. Sir, that kind of questions are they asking, sir? 200% they are asking. Look at this type of questions. Very similar to this only. Current RTP also had one problem. Everybody, my dear. You can't solve this type of problem without having a grip on the provisions of the entire GST law. You are expected to have RCM in control, exemption in control. You are expected to have the entire aspect in control. Sir, how to go about? Can you give me a format for this? Yes, my dear. I can give you happily a format for this, but it is a meticulous, disciplined effort which you have to do. Everybody, my dear. Now, let me simply tell you. Let me simply tell you. Sometimes, sometimes we might casually say it's output tax liability, less input tax credit. It is balance payable in cash, right? But this has got a format and this has got a purpose. And it is all about presentation. It is all about presentation. And we have to be, going on a deeper vein in this. Now listen carefully, my dear. Depends on the question. You can actually, do this. My dear brothers and sisters, try to visualize. Try to visualize. This is your answer sheet. This is your answer sheet. This is left hand side. And this is right hand side. Everybody, my dear, let's try to visualize in your notebook or in your answer sheet. Okay. Divide this. And always the heading should be, they will ask the heading in different manner. Okay. What they will do sometime, they will say computation of GST payable in cash or net GST payable. In any way, they can ask this question. Everybody, the font size is okay, right? Because only then we can see the entire thing. And this should be a typical GST or 3B back of mind. So first, output tax liability on outward supply. Output tax liability on outward supply will be working note number 1. Immediately you should come here and you have to put a heading here. Computation of output tax liability of Mrs. or Mr. so and so for the tax period so and so. Put a heading. Compute everything. So what and all will be there? There will be a taxable intrastate supply. There will be a taxable interstate supply, or I would say first next exempt supply. There will be an exempt intrastate supply. Similarly, there will be a taxable interstate supply. There will be a exempt interstate supply. You will have to cumulate this all. Okay, exempt, you will have to write the working note. See, I won't reckon a separate working note here. I won't reckon a separate working note when it comes over here. The reason is very simple and straightforward. Working note will confuse yourself. So write all the explanations here itself. So that is to say, why taxable, why exempt. You please write here. The weightage of these questions are 6 to 8 marks. Guys, as you could see here, okay, it's a 5-mark question, and later on questions have been tested for in a different pattern and horizon here. It's a main examination question. Consistently, this has been given for 5 marks. And what is the beauty is, this type of questions is available in the ICAI, but we don't practice this type of questions because this is not belonging to one chapter. This is belonging to different chapter. As you could see, the weightage has gone from 6 marks to 8 marks. Okay, and exactly if you can understand, this is the same type of question what they have asked you in the current mock test also. Look at this mock test. Look at the mock test and look at this. Can you see this, my dear? X limited, and you can see the weightage coming for 8 marks. And look at the question: computation of minimum GST payable in cash, which is nothing but GST payable in cash. My dear brothers and sisters, are able to understand how important these questions are, because this is how it has been kept on testing. This is how the pattern also changes. It has become a mainstay in the main examination nowadays. Can you see? Because we are going to solve one problem like Himansu problem. First and foremost, we should sharpen our axe. That's what I'm trying to do. And once you understand this is the format, and based on this format, you should do. It is not about giving up in choice. You know RCM, you know exempt, you know ITC, you know payment methodology, you know the manner of adjustment. It is just you have to put everything in one place. Guys, are you with me? But sir, without writing explanation why it is taxable, why it is exempt, you will not get the marks. You will not get the marks. Okay. So remember, you have to write. Remember, you have to write. And for here, straight away, we'll come over here. This will be nil. Only here you will have something. And I should not write. You'll have only here something. While filling up the figures, we will see, okay. Because intrastate, we will have figures only here. and interstate we will have a figure only here. Nevertheless, my dear, it will be the total of output tax liability for the tax period. So this will be the total of why multiple is not working. Okay. Since I'm doing in Excel, I have the leverage, I have the privilege of doing this, but you can't do this. Proper presentation must be required. So from here, you can link to this area. So working note number 1 is authentically done. The second line item is very, very important, which will miss our eyesight because why? I'll tell you why also. We have always understood it is output tax liability minus input tax credit. In between, there is another one practically. What is that, sir? It is called RCM liability on inward supply. My dear brothers and sisters, are you able to understand this? Because you might be having an RCM liability, right? Same way, computation of RCM liability of Mr. X for the period, calculations, vagera, 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 vagera. And in this, you need to understand exempt, there will not be a question of taxable. So only taxable interstate will be there. So you will have to just add those line items and you just have to present it. And again, this will be the total of RCM payable in cash. Remember, RCM is always to be paid in cash. So you need to substitute these figures over here. The success is in presenting this kind of format, nothing more than that. So what is my total liability? Total liability for the tax period. Total liability for the tax period will be this plus this. Everybody, my dear, are you comfortable? Don't give double top line, give only single top line. Later on, you will understand why I'm saying so. Okay. In this, I will have to less RCM payable in cash. I will reduce. Sir, where I have to go for the working note number 2. Whatever you have added here, you have to reduce here. So what is the balancing figure, sir? Liability adjustable against ITC, which is basically this minus this. And you need to give this working in a very detailed manner. You can ask me, sir, why we are doing it so? Yeah, there is a purpose why we are doing it so. Again, a top line only. Why, sir? The next line item here will be less input tax credit available for adjustment. Look at this, my wording, my dear, very, very important. ITC available for adjustment. Working note number 3. So I will go for immediate calculation. I'll go for working note number 3. So this is working note number 1. We should not forget. This is working note number 1. And here we go. I have working note number 2 coming up. And I'll be having the same kind of working note. This time, Computation of working note number 3. Computation of ITC available for adjustment of Mr. X for the tax period. My dear brothers and sisters, I want all your concentration here. I want all your concentration here. Very, very, very important one. Very, very, very important one. Everybody, my dear. So what is this, sir? You will have, okay, taxable interstate inward supply. Inward supply covered under FCM. Put it over there. And you will have exempt interstate supply covered under FCM. And you should mention nothing is eligible here. Sometimes you will have purchase from unregistered person. Purchase from unregistered person also ineligible. You should mention it there. And sometime you will have taxable inter, and you will have exempt inter. And in this, there will be something is blocked, something will be, conditions will be violated. So you will have eligible, ineligible criteria, everything. Mention the reasons there and all. And along with this, there is a very, very, very important adjustment you have to do. What is that, sir? RCM paid in cash. Working note number 2. So whatever the RCM I agree to pay in cash, I've just told you, you can avail the credit only upon payment. And I'm sure you will be reminding ITC chapter, whatever I taught you. So my dear brothers and sisters, before this, you should also understand there is a possibility that the question can give you opening balance of this. This will be as per the question. You should take it. Okay, my dear. My dear brothers and sisters, see, let me give you an example. Okay. I'll give you a detailed breakup also. See, there is a probability that it will be taxable FCM, but it will be blocked or it will be ineligible. So if that be the case, what will we do, sir? We will mention the reason. We will mention the reason why blocked or why ineligible. And we will make the outer column 0, 0. We will not avail the credit. We will say it is ineligible. Everybody, my dear? Yeah? We will not reduce. Understand, my dear? We will ignore. We will ignore that. Okay, my dear? And whatever the credit it is available over here, it is called total ITC. This is called total ITC available for adjustment. And my dear brothers and sisters, remember this you have to bring over here. And first asset you should adjust is IGST. Second is CGST. Third is SGST. In this order only you should adjust. Everybody, my dear? You are with me? An IGST figure. Carefully look at this. I'm bringing it from here. Then CGST I have to bring it over here. And SGST I have to bring it over here. And my carry out as per these adjustments I have to carry out as per rule 88. First, IGST against IGST liability. balance if any to CGST and SGST, and then once the IGST becomes a 0, I have to carry forward something else. And my dear brothers and sisters, the balance if any will be carry forward. If ITC is more, it will be carry forward, or balance if any will be payable in cash. And most of the scenarios, it will be payable only in cash. Okay, my dear. So you need to reduce all these figures. Just for the sake of simplicity, I'm bringing it all at one place. Sir, whether this is the end of the discussion? No, my dear. This is the balance of output tax liability payable in cash. But what we are supposed to do, sir? We have to add RCM paid in cash or RCM payable in cash. My dear brothers and sisters, working note number 2 reference. Why, sir, we are adding it again? Because we have paid it in cash, no. So we have to give a link for this. From where, sir? You have to give the link from the second working note. Whatever you said you will be paying in cash, you are supposed to pay it in cash. My dear brothers and sisters, please understand, this is a net GST payable in cash or minimum GST payable in cash. My dear brothers and sisters, please understand, this is the answer for which the entire working has been done. And now you can bring the double liner so that this will be the end of the discussion. My dear brothers and sisters, appreciate this is the format which you have to follow. This is the format. This should be the main answer and this should be the working notes. Only if you present in this manner, you will be able to score in this area. First 2 problems will take more time for you to solve. Third problem, fourth problem onwards, it will be a cakewalk for you because only visualization was a problem. You guys will never anticipate this RCM liability, reduction of liability. See, I am adding it in the liability and I am nullifying it. Finally, I am adding it again. So if you see, I am adding in 2 places, reducing in one places, meaning thereby I am adding it only 1 places, which is basically payable in cash. Are you with me, my dear? And the second adjustment you might miss is RCM paid in cash. After payment only it is entitled for the asset. This line item you will miss generally. That is where the mistakes happens. These are the popular errors. My dear brothers and sisters, are you ready? Can you note down this format in your notebook? Meticulously, you have to follow the format. If you can follow this format, I can straight away solve 1 Himansu problem. 2, straight away the question from mock test can be solved. When you solve 2 problems, this is the epitome of problem coming from the payment chapter, wherein you will be tested for 8 marks. 6 to 8 marks will be the weightage. My dear brothers and sisters, are you with me? Any doubts? If I substitute numbers in one problem, you will get to have, but before that, you should have the format in your notebook. And in exam, remember, left-hand side is for the main answer, whether it is ITC problem, valuation problem, composition scheme supply problem, or this overall problem, or interest calculation. Main answer should be on the left-hand side. Right-hand side, working notes alone should be there with explanations. Everybody, my dear, are you all with me? My dear brothers and sisters, in working note number 3, we are considering the RCM paid in cash. So how we have taken it in the ITC? Because we have paid it here in the cash. Because of that treatment only. See, what is basically RCM? You should understand this. This is where your understanding of the subject plays a very important role. Just try to understand RCM, how it works. Recipient, government, recipient have to pay in cash. My dear, this cash payment only, this entry. Everybody, guys, you're with me? And remember, once government received the cash, it will permit to the recipient as ITC. And this is this entry. My dear, and carefully observe, previous two are nullified. Here I added, here I reduced. So meaning thereby I nullified it. The real impact is only here in the payment column and here in the ITC column. Can you see this, my dear? Everybody? My dear, whoever has posted this doubt, are you comfortable? You're able to understand this provision, my dear? Super. My dear, I'll give you exactly 5 minutes. First, write down left-hand side portion. See, I want you to open the notebook. I want you to write the format with full involvement and understanding. So complete up to this level so that I can move down. So complete up to this level and working note number 1 complete. Then I will scroll it down. Only after writing working note number 3, you should come to the below adjustments. Everything when you do step by step, you will be most successful one. Process of following things only will be matters, my dear. So any doubts you can now ask me. I'm available. You can ask me the doubts. As requested during writing, I switched on the camera. Yeah. Okay. Exposure and practice alone is the difference between successful candidate and those who wants to gain the experience. It's just a matter of minutes, my dear. Take it from me. I'm 200% sure. I'm 200% sure. Once you practice 2 problems, you will be very, very, very happy in solving the problem. Most importantly, you will be confident in taking up the question. My dear brothers and sisters, can I scroll it down? Yeah, everybody, can I scroll it down? Are you comfortable? Have you completed up to this part? If you completed up to that part, I'll be so happy to take it up to this part. I'll scroll it down. Here we go, my dear. Here we go. Working note number 2 and working note number 3. I'm getting some issue with the internet buffering, my dear. I'm switching off the video for a moment. My dear brothers and sisters, have you done with it? Can we substitute numbers? Can we substitute numbers, my dear? I will solve 2 to 3 problems. I will solve 2 to 3 problems today. Second problem, when we solve itself, you will have a grip. First problem alone will be a mesmerizing flow for you. And if you have written all these things with absolute understanding, even that you will manage with. Everybody, my dear, you're done with why this is not getting wrapped. Something is happening with the pen. I don't know. Okay, let's substitute numbers. You'll appreciate more. Guys, I'll straight away take you to one of the popular problems. Himanshu. So this is a problem wherein the question, as you could say, is compute the net GST payable and tax. 8 mark question. And this is the manner in which you will have to expect it. And since this question does not have anything in our same category, we will come back to this 8 mark question later. Okay. We will go to a question where we have our same approaches coming in picture so that we can have everything in one place. So let's take the first question, Viraj or Pradyumna Corporation. My dear, after reading the question, you decide on the columns. After reading the question, you decide on the columns whether IGST is required or not, or CGST, SGST is required or not. Okay. By default, I'm creating all the 3 columns. Okay. First, look at this. Pradyumna Corporation Private Limited, a registered person in the Mumbai. See, this is also very similar to Himanshu problem. Why, sir? But the difference is in Himanshu problem, they have given what is purchase, what is sales separately. Here they have clubbed everything one together. And this is more challenging than that type of problem. That is why I'm preferring to solve this type of problem first. Look at this, my dear. Intrastate sale of taxable goods out of the 50,000 was received as advance in September. Does not matter. Intrastate sale of taxable goods, taxable. Straight away I have to update my every information working note update pananga, obviously main answer will come. So intrastate taxable, it is 2 lakhs. Purchase amount is 2 lakhs. So it's going to be 2 lakhs into what is the tax percentage here? 9%, 9%, 18%. So 2 lakh into 9%. So it's going to be 2 lakh into 9% for both CGST and SGST. Next. So we have completed the first adjustment. Second one, goods purchased from unregistered dealer. From unregistered dealer, 20, 10,000 in case of intra and balance in case of inter does not matter. This is a purchase detail, whereas previous one was a sales detail. So purchase from unregistered person, ineligible credit. We just have to mention this in the working note. So we go to availment of credit column here. So purchase from unregistered person. So it will be 0000 only. Okay. Or I can even mention dash dash dash. Next. So we have covered the point number 2. Point number 3. Received for. When I say received for, this is an outward supply. Received for the service. Oh my God. My dear, that received word is not actually, covering. That's all, my dear. My dear, received for the services by way of labor contract. By way of labor contract, if you carefully observe, this is from taxable supply, chapter number 3. This is unregistered person, ITC, chapter number 8. This is from RCM, again, chapter number 3. Oh, sorry, exempt supply, chapter number 4. Reviewed service by way of a labor contract for repairing a single residential unit. My dear, as far as a single residential unit is concerned, only original works are entitled for exemption as a labor contract. Okay, not repairs and maintenance. Therefore, this is taxable, and this is also intrastate. So you need to write the explanation, and you should say in outward supply, repairing of single residential unit, not exempt, therefore taxable, intrastate supply. 50,000 is a figure amount, I understand. So it is going to be 50,000 into 9%, 50,000 into 9%. And so we have completed now successfully 3 items. Legal fees paid, legal fees paid. That means it's an inward supply. To Miss Uday, an advocate located in other state. It's an interstate supply. Legal fees paid to advocate. My dear brothers and sisters, a note has been given that the turnover of Pradyumna Corporation is 2 crore in the previous financial year, meaning thereby legal fees is paid is liable to be covered under RCM mechanism. So, my dear, we are coming for the RCM here, and it is a taxable interstate supply. Legal services is taxable under RCM as the preceding financial year aggregate turnover exceeds the threshold limit of exemption from registration. It is 50,000 into 18%. Everybody, my dear. And we are expected to compute. Now everything will fall in place. It will take care. Now the liability is totally, there is no IGST liability. So this column will have no use. But nevertheless, RCM liability is there. So look at the final answer, my dear. 22,500, 22,500. RCM liability is getting substituted here. And total liability is this much. Less RCM payable in cash. You will get there's a liability adjustable against ITC. And this is where you need to now substitute the figures. Everybody, my dear. And sir, is there any ITC figures are there? Yeah. ITC figures are also there. We need to work on ITC figures. So I have only 9,000 IGST coming up here, but there is no IGST liability. So nothing is adjustable. Balance, I have 9,000. My dear, this 9,000 can be worked on in any permutation combination. Since we have more liability, please understand, this can be 9,000 here, 0 here. Or it can be 9,000 here, 0 here. Or it can be any figure, 4,500 here, 4,500 here. Are you all with me, my dear? All the three answers are correct, or any permutation combination is correct. I go with this method, and balance, if any, I have no asset to be adjusted. So 18,000, 18,000 and 9,000. This is the net payable in cash. So, my dear brothers and sisters, are you comfortable? What will take more time is only working notes will take more time for you. Once working note is done, main answer is just substitution from there. My dear brothers and sisters, are you with me? Are you comfortable with Pradyumna Limited sum? Can we now try to solve the same for Himansu? My dear brothers and sisters, are you comfortable? Can we go to one more problem? So the format is ready with us. We just have to substitute in Himanshu problem. My dear brothers and sisters, are you with me? Can you try Himanshu problem? So once you complete that, we will say, yes, we have a grip in overall problem. We can go to interest and then we can go to composition scheme. Everybody, guys. So I leave you now with a format for Himanshu problem. I really don't know how to, delete this. Okay. Now I leave you with Himanshu problem, a very, very, very important one. Because this is very similar to the pattern of MTP question which has come to this exam. My dear brothers and sisters, I'm giving you exactly 5 minutes. Try to solve it, my dear. My dear, proceed to solve, my dear. My dear brothers and sisters, what is the answer? What is the answer, my dear? Okay, take another 2 more minutes, no problem. But please participate in the answer. Only when you solve problems, you'll get to have clarity. Okay. Adjustment. Adjustment. தெரியுதா உனக்கு? ம். Excellent, Sudesh. You're doing great. So I've got answers here from for Himansu Limited from Sudesh saying 63,000, 63,000, and 90,000 is the tax payable, sir. I don't have an answer, but I have to practice the answer and I have to get back to here. So let's try. See, substituting again in the columns is going to be a good exercise for all of us. Quickly substituting. A registered person of chemicals pays GST under the regular scheme. He is not eligible for any threshold limit exemption. He has made the following outward details. What are all those details? Intrastate taxable supply 25 lakhs, interstate taxable supply 5 lakhs. Right? And is there any adjustments is going to come at the later stage? Purchase only, they are giving the adjustments. 9%, 9%, 85%. So intrastate taxable supply, intrastate, intra and inter, 25, 5. So let's substitute these figures. And interstate taxable supply is 5 lakhs. So liability is quite freeze now. So we have done with the first one. Outward supply we have done. Inward supply, they made the intrastate taxable supply for the goods from a registered person so much, and intrastate from unregistered person so much, interstate from registered person is so much. But they are giving a note. Out of the interstate purchase from registered person, goods worth rupees 1 lakh were received only on 3rd October. And this is for the tax period of September. So meaning thereby, out of this 4 lakhs, we have to take only these 2 points you have to consider together. And 4 lakhs, you have to write an explanation. And you have to take it only for 3 lakhs. So let's go ahead and write with respect to this inward supply. Is there any opening balance they have given? Yeah. ITC opening balance in the month of September they have given, which is 95, 60, 50. So we are going here, substituting here, 95, 60, and 50. And apart from this, we have purchase of interstate taxable supply, which is under forward charge mechanism because there is no reverse charge mechanism has been said. Assuming it to be in a forward charge mechanism, it is 14 lakhs. So here it is. And interstate taxable supply, it is 4 lakh minus 1 lakh. Net effective is only 3 lakhs. We should take only 3 lakhs here. 3 lakhs into 18% we should take. And we should also write a note, 1 lakh we are not supposed to take up in. Okay. And so that all the 3 points we have done. This point is also done. This point is also we have done. This ticking down is very important. And next one is, he has purchased a car for use of business purpose. Price is 6 lakhs, including GST so much. On 15th of September, he has capitalized the full value, including GST, in the books of the same day for claiming depreciation. Guys, purchase of car is a blocked credit, isn't it? Because it's a motor vehicle designed for transportation of passenger. And car means we assume that it is less than 14, 13 or less. It is not used for the specified purpose. And more importantly, is capitalizing in the books of accounts for claiming depreciation. So we have already seen that if something is capitalized, you should not actually claim. So it's a blocked credit. So we should write an explanation. Intra or inter, it's an intra only. So on purchase, car blocked as the number of seating capacity is assumed to be 13 or less. And also the tax portion has been capitalized. Therefore, it makes it as becomes ineligible. So dash dash. So with this, all the adjustments have been done. With this, all the adjustments have been done. The rate has been taken. All are exclusive of tax. All the conditions necessary for writing. So now it's going to be only net of adjustments. Guys, as you can see here, we have nothing. So in this example, there is no need for RCM. There is no adjustments required. So working note number 2 itself will not be warranted here. After reading the question only, we can say, right? So this is the total liability. The same liability is a liability adjustable against ITC, and these are all the assets adjustable. My dear, this is where the real learning starts. This is where the real learning starts. So 54,000 is the first I have to adjust against it fully. Therefore, it becomes 0, right? So let's understand how much is my availability. So this has become 0. So now having IGST becomes 0. I can go for CGST and SGST. Guys, since the liability is more, first full is only towards the respective liability. The excess, if any, have to be taken for the others. So in this problem, it is going to be 99, 99, and 36. And how come it is other way? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I guess the opening balance has not been covered here. It's a link error. I'm sorry, guys. I should place my sincere apologies. My dear, it is 1,04,000. I'm sorry. Of which only 90,000 is to be taken. So we have some excess portion coming over here. So 14,000 is available. I'm sorry, my dear. I corrected, my dear. I corrected opening balance. I corrected immediately. Sir, how much is the balance I can adjust, sir? 221 in case of CGST is available to me. And SGST, I have only 186 with me. You should make sure minimum cash payment is what to be warranted. So I would say 4,000 allocate here. Balance 10,000. Please make it from the SGST so that the total tax payable becomes only 29,000 under the SGST column. Guys, are you with me? So that I'll end up paying only one tax. Alternatively, you can split that. But again, you should not have the carry forward excess, right? Are you with me, my dear? How many of you got this answer? So there's 63, 63 is not correct, ma. My dear brothers and sisters, have you got the answer right? How many of you got it right, my dear? See, I made a mistake by not including the opening balance, and then I have corrected it. Then I have corrected it. My dear, you're comfortable. And I just want a response from someone of you. Have you got the answer right? It's 29,000 is net payable in cash. Sudesh is not 63, 63, 90, my dear. Excellent. Very good, my dear. If you got it right, this is the stand of your confidence level. See, when I started this question, you guys asked me, sir, what is the weightage? Because you had a thought process of skipping this. But now, after learning the presentation manner, after substituting the figures and solving two problems, you are giving me the correct answer, meaning thereby 8 mark is in your pocket. And listen to me carefully. This is the exact question model. Can you see here, my dear? They are giving you the details of outward supply. They are giving you the details of purchases made inward supply, and they are giving you the opening balance, and they're trying to solve the question. Wherein there is no RCM model is there. And this model has been tested for 8 marks. And if RCM model is also included, imagine it's a far sure question for 6 to 8 marks. Everybody. Let me, my dear. Right? So I will go for the last leg of this payment chapter. So payment chapter is very much, on the higher side. Interest calculation in the payment chapter becomes very, very important discussion today. So let's go for interest calculation problem. Other liabilities and all very quickly we can knock it down. Examination oriented area is this 2 for you for the IPCC level. Very, very important. On filing of belated returns before getting notice under section 73 and 74, interest is payable on the net of ITC portion, meaning thereby you are supposed to pay interest on the portion of the tax that is paid by only using electronic cash ledger. This is very, very important. Sir, can I have a meaning that tax payable in the cash means output tax liability minus input tax credit? Yes. Don't forget if there is an RCM. RCM is also to be paid in cash. Everybody, my dear. Sir, from what day I'm supposed to pay? Guys, give me a minute. Sir, since we pay RCM in cash, can directly add it in the balance payable in the cash instead of adding and subtracting in the two different stages. Okay, my dear Sudesh, see, the whole objective is to make you aware that you are totally liable for a liability. Just because of paying that only, you are doing it. Okay, this is a model, this is the manner in which GSTR 3B itself is working. Practically, when you take the GSTR 3B, exactly this is the presentation model which has been undergoing. So, for your sake of conveniency and inconveniency, you cannot change the GSTR 3B model. You cannot change the GSTR 3B model. Okay, my dear? Yes, RCM, if at all belated in payment of making, if at all there is a delay in the making of payment, it has to be added for interest calculation also. When you solve one or two problems, you will get to have a control. So first, let's knock down this, my dear. Understand from what day you have to calculate. From the next day of the due date, you have to calculate. So what is the due date for the payment of tax? It is a due date for filing the return. Section 39, subsection 7 says, due date for the payment of taxes, due date for filing the returns. So my dear, what is the due date for filing the return? So without knowing the payment chapter and interest chapter, you cannot come and calculate interest, right? So let's say for October tax period, October 23 tax period, the due date is on or before 20th of November, right? So what is the next date from the due date? That means you have to calculate from 21st of November till the date of actual payment. You are supposed to calculate interest at the rate of 18% per annum. So number of days you have to calculate, and then first you have to arrive at the tax payable in cash, and then you should apply the interest rate. So the working to be tax payable in cash multiplied by 18% multiplied by number of days divided by 365. You will get to have the answer. When you solve 2-3 problems, you will get to have the measure. Let me quickly give you guys. I'm sure you all will be comfortable with this area. So straight away, let me get you into the problem areas. Practice is very important, my dear. Look at this. I'm presenting you the answer for the first question so that you'll get familiarized with the steps. X Limited has a belated filing for the month of after 60 days. They are filing it. Total tax paid is details have been given, my dear. You have to calculate the interest payable. So output tax liability minus input tax balance payable in cash. In this, no ITC has been given. Therefore, it has been taken as a nil. Number of days of delay given. So interest working is tax payable in cash multiplied by 18% multiplied by number of days divided by 365, rounded off to the nearest of 1. My dear brothers and sisters, are you comfortable? And this is a 4-mark area. Guys, are you with me? Are you comfortable? If you're comfortable, we can quickly try to solve 2-3 problems. Everybody, here we go, my dear. Question number 2. Can you get me the answer in a flash? 2 minutes for you. Can I get to have the answer, my dear? Excellent, 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 excellent. But steps are very important. I'm sure all of you are following the steps. First is tax payable in cash. Second, number of days. Third, interest calculation. Fourth, rounded off to the nearest of 1 rupee. Everybody, my dear. And I'm really happy you guys are hitting to perfection. Let's go for the next question. Seems to be very similar, but what is the difference here? Previous question, I have given you the number of days as 60 days delay. And question, I'm just making you to calculate the number of days as well. 2 minutes for you, quick. I feel that hot water in my flask and get to be drinkable. Excellent, guys. And see, I'm getting two different answers. But let's go ahead to validate. Very, very importantly, I'm sure first step, all of you would have got this tax payable in cash, right? Second step, number of days calculation. You should get 140. That's a second step mark for you. Third, calculation. And guys, you guys are nailing it to perfection. You guys are nailing it to perfection. Shall we go for one last problem in interest model? Everybody, are you comfortable? See, I just simulated different permutation combination in which you can be asked for, interest calculation problems. Shall we go for one last model? Here we go. Question number 4, where RCM can be brought into picture. Go ahead, my dear. Try to solve question number 4. With this, we will go for composition schemes applied. And the trending problem, I will close with the trending problem. I know we have scheduled up to 12 and we are going beyond it. Nothing wrong. Just bear with me. It's going to be your marks. So please bear with me. And my three sister, the coordinator, is there anything issue that if we go up to 12:20 or 12:30? Shall I proceed up to 12:20 or 12:30 just to complete 2 more problems in composition schemes apply? Can I have that extra liberty? Thank you, sister. Thank you so much. Everybody, what is the answer? It's a very, very interesting question. Everybody, my dear, shall we go with the answer? Excellent. Excellent. So here we go. The presentation, there is a small change. And guys, only with respect to IGST, there is a change in your answer. I don't know how did you, get that value, right? First, output taxability minus input tax credit, balance payable in cash. This figure, add RCM payable in cash because that is also tax payable in cash. It is also tax payable in cash. So therefore, this is the total tax payable in cash for which number of days of delay calculation workaround. Everybody, my dear. 9764, with respect to that figure alone, you have to rework. Everybody comfortable, my dear? And Sudesh, I'm sure you will understand now this is the maximum amount of testing that can happen. Everyone. So with this, I want to get into the type of question when it comes to composition scheme levy. Guys, any doubts on RCM? Any doubts on interest? And we have covered the overall problem also. We covered the interest also. We're going for the composition scheme. Everybody? See, I focus more on number crunching. Where is a probable question and what you can actually score more. Shall we, my dear? Everybody? Right. And this is a trending question. And I found this question coming from CMA final level. But I believe there is a probability that this can be tested at the, CA inter level also. Because CMA final level is equivalent to CA inter level with respect to the level of testing, depthness. See, I'm not comparing the professionals. Please understand. Okay, I'm not comparing the professionals. But the level and the depth of testing is so high in CA. The intensity is so high in CA. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a simple two-liner question. The answer is not that simple. And this is a trending. Mark my word, relevant. If at all, institute is copying from the, because please understand, CA Institute has the habit of copying the question from CMA Institute, right? So let's take up that question. Mrs. CMA Saranya is a practicing cost accountant in Chennai. She has commenced a profession on 1st of April 2024 and her annual turnover is 70 lakhs in the financial year. So find the optimum tax liability given the normal rate of tax is 9%, 9%. So you are supposed to calculate what is the optimum tax liability, right? There was no hint that it is a composition scheme supplier. There is only one hint, optimum tax. Very, very, very challenging question. Take 2 minutes, try to knock down, and I will take you through the answer. After 2 minutes of brainstorming, try to answer this question, right? This is possible to be answered only when you do practice. For a plain vanilla student, it is not possible. Probably I would say this is a level question. But yes, why can't you try? Try it. Trending problem. My dear brothers and sisters, are you able to visualize this? This requires you to travel by a timeline activity to understand how business generally evolves, right? Imagine a common businessman. They will not register until they become liable to become registered. Look at this. This timeline activity will help you to understand, right? When Saranya's sister started the business at zero level, up to 20 lakhs, because see, she's in Tamil Nadu, caste accountancy is a service provision, and the threshold limit from the registration chapter you have to pick is 20 lakhs. So up to 20 lakhs, she will be an unregistered person, no GST liability. For the next 30 lakhs, if at all she decided to go for optimization, she would have opted for composition scheme under 10(2)(a), because the limit there is only up to 50 lakhs, for which 3%, the total tax liability will be 6%. Everybody, my dear. And in this period, she cannot take ITC. Output tax liability is payable in cash. And please understand, the value of supply will be up to 50 lakhs. So, for the bandwidth of 20 lakhs to 0 to 20 lakhs, it will be 0. For the bandwidth up to 20 lakhs, after, up to 50 lakhs after 20 lakhs, that is to say 30 lakhs. It will be 30 lakhs into 3% payable in cash, which is 90,000, 90,000. And for the balance 20,000, Saranya's sister, since crosses 50 lakhs, she will become a normal supplier. Rate of tax will be 19.9 and totally 18%. She can take ITC, output tax liability she can collect, and she has to issue a tax invoice, wherein here she has to issue only a bill of supply. Everybody, my dear. So, assuming no ITC here, 20 lakhs into 9%, 9%, it is 1 lakh. And this will be the total GST payable by Saranya's sister for the year. Guys, how do you find this question? Are you able to understand, my dear? This is how you have to, stage by stage, you have to proceed for this question. My dear brothers and sisters, are you able to understand? This question is trending. Are you comfortable, my dear? See, up to 20 lakhs, no taxes payable, no need to register. Up to 50 lakhs, only taxes payable. But where is the niche area? Only after registration, and up to the certain limit only, you can be a composition scheme supplier. That means only for this difference of 30 lakhs only, you will pay 3%. For aggregate turnover, we'll include the 20 lakhs, but tax we will not include, right? Everybody? And once you cross the limit, you will become a normal supplier. You know that. But all these things you need to apply in one area. Mark this question important. And guys, if you want to note down the answer. With this, I'll call it as a time, my dear. And I wanted to specifically cover this question because it's a trending area and it's a mindful question. Excellent mindful question. And there is every probability this can be drafted at our examination. And with this, we'll call it as a time, my dear. And anyone having any doubt, you can ask with respect to any other topics. I'm ready to clarify you. But this is what we can cover with the maximum time allowed. Everybody, my dear? Yeah. Please note down the answer. And if you have any doubts, please post it. Coordinator will help me to, answer the question. See, all the chapters you should interlink, right? Only then you can understand. Excellent question. My dear brothers and sisters, are you comfortable? Everybody, just remember, you guys are all excellent Just keep practicing, keep believing that you can do. Believe in you with always positive trait. You guys are putting all the hard work. Whatever you're not able to do, please don't bother and create negativity towards it. Go to examination hall well in advance. Enter into examination hall 15 minutes prior. Read the question, prioritize it, and answer the question for the entire 3 hours. Write for 100 marks. Don't discuss the answer when you come out. Immediately start, working for the next exam. Always remain positive. Always remain positive. Right? Just stay relevant. Believe that you are born to succeed. Yes, we are born to succeed at the highest level. Don't encourage any negativity. Wishing you all success. And once you complete all your programs, all your examinations, I'll be very glad if you can drop me a message in my number. And this is my number. And I'm using only one number here. No geo number, no other number and all. This is my number in WhatsApp also. One text message from you, sir, we have written the examination well. And another text message on the day of your successful result, dropping a message. I will be so glad. I will also be in cloud 9 with your parents. And my dear brothers and sisters, anytime, any help with respect to the subject, I am just a message away. All your doubts will be, clarified within 24 hours. And exception is only a day before your exam. Day before your exam, any doubt you text me, I will clarify immediately. But before that, any doubts you are posting me, I will take my time to respond to it. Right, my dear? Wishing you all success. Stay in abundance in every walk of life. Succeed at the highest level. And wishing you all success, my dear. Everything in abundance. Bye. Thank you so much for SICASA for giving me this opportunity to guide you through the important phases. And thank you so much for my 3 sister and Kavin for coordinating and being the moderators here. Thank you so much, everyone. Wishing you all success. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye. All the
Thank
best.
you so much, sir. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude on behalf of SICAS and all the students out there, since you guided us and hosting this special revision session. Thank you so much, sir. And my sincere apologies if you had any kind of inconvenience in going through the session.
No problem, sister. Absolutely fine. I'm really thankful for you for posting the questions from there to this area. Only thing is, I should say an apology because I'm not 100% health-wise fit. My voice is very low, and I should be thankful for all others for raising their volume and hearing me properly. Thank you so much. I'll all meet you all at the final level. Thank you so much, guys. Take care.